Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year.
Builds. Inside the rubber tire factory, the process is streamlined. Endless rows of machinery and dedicated work.
Inside the rubber tire factory, the process begins as raw rubber, chemicals, and
How millions of tires are made every year. Workers operate these machines in a continuous motion.
Steady, bring it forward just a bit. Okay, drop it right there.
Confirmed. Lowering the pallet now.
Raw rubber is lifted into towering storage silos, automated valves opening and closing as material feeds downward.
Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year. Industry secrets.
The pre-mixing inspection is crucial. Here, technicians ensure the rubber streams and additive feeds are perfectly balanced before moving to the mixers.
Inside the rubber tire factory, Tabelli, how millions of tires are made every year to know.
Calibrated rollers press the rubber into uniform sheets, adjusting automatically as thickness changes.
Here we see the freshly cut rubber strips separating. They travel along these parallel conveyors, each destined for a different stage of the manufacturing process.
Here we see the industry secrets of compound labeling and sorting. The automated arms precisely route the rubber strips into designated channels.
Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year. Industry secrets. Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year. Industry secrets. With precise tension control, the smooth rubber sheets are fed onto rotating drums, forming the crucial inner liner.
Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year. The inner liner wraps seamlessly around the drum. Steel bead wires are wound and coated, feeding continuously toward the tire building station.
With millimeter accuracy, these robotic arms position the bead rings onto the rotating drum, a critical step in manufacturing millions of tires.
Fabric-reinforced rubber plies unwind and lay smoothly over the drum, forming the tire carcass.
Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year. Industry secrets.
The tread presses onto the rotating tire body, guided by sensors to maintain exact center alignment. Thin skim coat layers are added over structural components, sealing and reinforcing the forming tire.
All rubber layers merge under synchronized rollers, bonding into a single cohesive structure as the drum rotates continuously.
The green tire is shaped and tightened on the drum, edges tucked and tension adjusted automatically. The fully assembled green tire spins steadily as final adjustments are made before removal.
As the green tire rotates on the drum, the inspector meticulously checks for alignment and surface consistency.
Under controlled pressure, the heated molds gently press the patterns into the sidewalls as the tire rotates smoothly. Tread surfaces pass under finishing rollers that refine grooves and channels before curing.
Inside the rubber tire factory, Südservassen, how millions of tires are made every year.
Inside the rubber tire factory, the finished green tires move toward the towering curing presses. The robotic loaders precisely place the green tires into massive curing presses before the doors seal.
Emerging from the molds, the tires roll through intense cooling zones as large industrial fans reduce the heat evenly across the surface.
Automated arms remove finished tires from presses and place them onto outbound conveyors. Here in the secondary inspection phase, precision is paramount. Automated systems and expert eyes.
Detected imperfections are marked automatically while tires continue moving down the line without stopping. Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year.
Inside the rubber tire factory, here's how millions of tires are made every year.
Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year.
In this factory, tire beads are pressed onto the rim edges with hydraulic rollers, ensuring a perfect seal and alignment.
Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year. Tiny balance weight sensors confirm the balance before the tire moves to the next stage of production. Automated gauges measure tread depth to ensure uniformity across the tire surface.
Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year, alphanumeric codes and production info are printed along the sidewalls.
At the final visual inspection, our technicians meticulously examine every millimeter of the rotating tire, searching for the slightest imperfection.
Fully assembled and approved, these tires are gently pushed onto outbound conveyors for final packing.
Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year.
Inside the rubber tire factory, we see how millions of tires are made every year. The protective film is applied automatically, covering the surfaces fully.
Here on the finishing line, millions of tires are prepared for shipment as the boxes are rapidly folded by automated systems.
Tires are carefully placed into boxes by robotic loaders, ensuring snug fit.
Inside the rubber tire factory, this is how millions of tires are made every year. These boxes are now ready for shipment.
Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year. Industry secrets.
Inside the rubber tire factory,
how millions of tires are made every year.
Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year. Industry secrets.
Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year. Industry secrets. Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year.
To ensure structural integrity, each tire is inflated far beyond its operational pressure, carefully monitored for any sign of deformation. Here we see the weight and balance verification, where sensors detect uneven distribution before precise mechanical adjustments are made.
Check the gloss uniformity right here on the sidewall.
Scanning now. The texture analysis looks good, within tolerance.
Defective tires are diverted to a separate conveyor for repair or recycling.
This spike here seems unusual for the current run.
It's an anomaly, but the overall quality remains high. We'll continue to track it.
Before packaging, every single tire undergoes a rigorous end-of-line verification, combining both visual.
Computer systems automatically log QC results for each tire, ensuring traceability.
The thermal signature here is stable. We are clear for the next run.
All inspected tires are confirmed ready to move toward packaging, signaling the end of quality control.
Approved tires arrive at the packaging line, moving along conveyors toward automated boxing stations. Sealed boxes pass through taping machines that close them tightly and securely. As part of the process of making millions of tires, these robotic printers apply shipping labels with pinpoint accuracy.
Inside the rubber tire factory, see how millions of tires are made every year. Industry secrets revealed.
Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year. Pallets are prepped and positioned to receive stacked boxes.
Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year. Industry secrets. To handle the sheer volume, specialized machinery is used to secure the pallets for transport.
Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year.
Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year.
Inside the rubber tire factory, we reveal how millions of tires are made every year, including some industry secrets.
Inventory tracking is crucial. Workers use handheld devices to scan barcode labels on these pallets, ensuring every tire is accounted for. Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year. Industry secrets. With millions of tires produced annually, the organization of our pallets for scheduled shipments is a continuous and carefully choreographed operation. Inside the rubber tire factory, revealing how millions of tires are made every year.
Straps and automated clamps secure pallets inside cargo trucks to prevent movement during transit.
With a clear green signal, the trucks exit the loading bay, carrying millions of tires toward distribution routes across the country.
Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year.
As you can see here, we monitor the entire fleet in real time. This allows us to anticipate delays and reroute shipments proactively.
Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year.
Efficiency is key here. Every tire is tracked and placed, ensuring the supply chain never stops.
This asymmetrical tread design vastly improves cornering stability. The silica compound offers superior wet grip.
I think I'll go with this one right here.
How are millions of tires made every year? Fully stocked and ready for purchase by customers worldwide.
Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year. Industry secrets.
Inside the rubber tire factory, how millions of tires are made every year. Industry secrets.